Good morning, everyone. Part 3 of why do you Catholics do those things? Sometimes people say, well, why do you Catholics keep the body of Christ on the cross? I've got this very beautiful crucifix up here, which was given to me at my ordination. Why do we have the body of Christ, the corpus, as we call it, on the cross? And the argument is sometimes presented, Jesus has risen. Don't keep him on the cross. And I say, well, yeah, that's not the reason why we keep Jesus on the cross. Ultimately, we recognize that Jesus died out of love for us. Jesus being on the cross is the recognition of the biggest act of love that he could have had for us. And we are reminded of that sacrifice he made out of love for us. And people say, well, Jesus is risen. Yeah, well, then the thing to recognize then is not the crucifix. Then we need to go and pay attention to the tomb, because that's where Jesus rose from. But Jesus didn't rise from the crucifix, he rose from the tomb. So in keeping the crucifix in our worship and so forth, it helps us to understand that we are still together with the Lord, and that the sacrifice that he made is actually a real and a valid one. And so it's not a morbid thing. It's not something which is say, look, they're looking at everything terribly negatively. We're looking at the death of somebody. That's not true. The crucifix is probably the biggest act of love that we could demonstrate, the biggest act of love that we can hold on to in the church. And so when we acknowledge the crucifix and we acknowledge the presence of Christ on that crucifix, it is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of victory. It's a sign that Jesus says, I loved you so much that I was prepared to give my life for you. You have a wonderful day and keep yourself safe. We'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.